just be real. The best team won the game, and it's going to take us playing an A-plus game on their home floor for us to win. And it'd probably take them not playing an A-plus game. And so we didn't play an A-plus game, certainly. Dang sure not the first half, but guys showed a lot of fight. Our guys, I was proud of them for sticking with it. And we won the second half, and that was, good for our guys. Came out of there and fought and won 45-41, but it was a big deficit we had to overcome. So anyway, glad we got to experience, and I'll be pulling for George Mason the rest of the way. Hope they go get this thing.
Bucky, when you kind of look at the press that you were able to kind of frustrate them a little bit after makes in the second half, I mean, was it kind of a situation where if you could have just made a couple more, you feel like earlier on that could have worked out in your favor a bit more?
Yeah, we just couldn't score at all, and so we just couldn't get much in our defense, couldn't get our mojo going, and it kind of gets us going when we're able to score and see threes go in and get our pressure going and get the game up and down, and we just couldn't get it going early. But when we do score, we can get our defense, which helps us significantly.
And Anderson's work today for them, he hasn't been a huge scorer for them much of the year, but obviously made a pretty big difference today. What did you think of what he was able to do?
He was great. I mean, you look, he was 6 for 8 from the field, and they shot a high percentage, 50% from the field. And, I mean, they just got a great pieces, I mean, they're long, they're big. They can, when they're making threes, they can score from the outside and the inside. You double them. It's they're able to get it out of the post. You don't double them, they're going to score it down there. So overall, just all-around team, and they got so many guys that on a given night can be the guy that gets it done.
Jaden had a career-high 27 tonight. Just how were you spraying him open, because a lot of his points were clean looks?
Yeah. Well, he's a stretch big, and so he has trouble guarding Haynes on the block, so he's got to make up for that by stretching the defense on the other side. And we're familiar with Jalen because he played at ETSU, which is in our league, and so we tried to get him in ball screen situations as much as we could, and we tried to set some flare screens for him to get open. George Mason made a nice adjustment coming into the game, and they tried to put a 4 on Jaden, and they put Jalen a lot on our 4 instead of our 5, so he wouldn't be in that situation. They probably knew what we were trying to do. But when the game gets going, Jaden for us is going to play a lot better because he can get lost at the three-point line, and we got the game going more the second half.
And you talked about the spring break situation, not being prepared for it. Does that contribute to the early turnovers? Because early on you had 6 really, really early in the game.
Yeah, we had 12 the first half, I believe, in a 20-minute or 12 or 14. And I knew we'd be rusty. Like, I don't want it to come off wrong. We weren't going to beat these guys today. They were a great team. Please don't take it that way, because I mean, just wasn't going to happen today. They were really good. But we were off for about a week. We had a practice at 7 before we left, and we had a shoot-around yesterday. I knew the first half would be bad. Like, I knew it was going to be bad. I was just hoping we would make enough shots and not turn the ball over that it'd be right at a 10-point game, and we would have had a chance. But, I've seen our team. We've had some turnover problems this year, but, 12, that was extreme. And some of the plays we made were just for some of the guys. Some of our guys are turnover prone, but some of them don't turn over that much, and they had some uncharacteristic ones for whatever reason.
Coach, when you guys were going against that backcourt of Jared Billups, Katie Johnson, going against those guys defensively, what did you make of that, and trying to get your guys used to that type of pressure that you don't usually see in your league? Yeah,
just so much length and athleticism and age and physicality. There was not a lot of advantages out there. The only real way we could get advantages was if the game got up and down. If it was bone on bone in the half court, they were able to switch everything and not give up anything. That's a problem, right? If we switched, they were able to throw it inside, and we wouldn't have an answer for that. We end up having to foul them. So that's the biggest thing. We just could not get an advantage unless the game got up and down, and we could get the game loose so it wasn't bone on bone.
Coach, do you fade pop and ghost 33 as much as you do in the second half? Is that normal, or was that just an adjustment?
Good question, man. Yeah, we knew they're switching. I was surprised they switched to 5. I'll be real with you. I didn't think they'd switch to 5. So we kind of had a different plan coming in, and then we realized they're switching everything. We talked to halftime. We got to start ghosting, particularly the timeouts, and got some clean looks because of it.
And their number 11 was able to be a presence inside. Talk about defending him.
Yeah. He's good. The only way to stop him was hoping he missed some free throws. Like I said, he was at ETSU, and he gave us problems when he was there before here. And, what's impressive with him is when they switch defensively, he does a good job guarding the ball. I watched him guard Max from VCU, right, Shulga, right? And they'd switch off to Shulga and, like, I mean, just being real, I mean, George Mason was 2 contested shots away from them being in the NCAA tournament. I mean, like, just right there. And you don't see too many guys his size that can switch. And, I mean, look, this is not our best offensive team we've had, just being real with you. Our team last year was a very good offensive team. But VCU has some very good players on offense. And to see him switch off on those guys and be able to contest and keep guys in front of him, I mean, that was really impressive. That's shown a lot of improvement since I saw him play a couple years ago. Yep.
Any other questions? Last question.
Coach, talk about, how good the SoCon was this year to have so many teams in the postseason. Obviously, when we talked before the season, you felt the team was young, a lot of newcomers, kind of not sure what to expect.
Yeah.
Do you think the team reached, close, if not the potential that the team had?
Yeah, good question, man. Look, I was seriously concerned when I watched our team play this summer. I'll say that. We did not have the skill that we had the previous year, right? And if you would have said, hey, we would, we win 22 games, we would have a great non-league play, we get to the SoCon, and, we're right there to the very end, the last weekend, have a chance to win the league, right? I mean, to the last weekend, we could have won the regular season again for the 3rd time in a row, which never happens in the single division format. And we're going into that last weekend, and Chad ends up winning a game. We end up dropping a game, and so it was out of reach right there. But I think in years like this, where we lost 8 of our top 9 guys off last year's team, that was a team that should have beat Kansas in the NCAA tournament and was a 30-win team and was really good and had a lot of older guys. To lose those guys, I think it's years like this where you fight for 22 wins, you fight to get to the NIT, that propel you for the inevitable years where you're going to make those runs and get to the NCAA tournament, maybe win a game, and you have those inevitable teams that are going to win 30 games. And that's how you really keep a program alive. It's not necessarily the times like last year where it's inevitably going to be good. No matter who's coaching the team, they were going to be a great team. It's years like these where you say, we're going to fight for everything. And just like this game today, we were in spots like that all year long where we were down by 20-something points, and we fought back. We've won a lot of these games. It was crazy. Our guys just kept fighting and finding a way, and we'd dribble off our foot and ball go out of bounds, and we'd press again, get the ball back, and then we'd miss 2 free throws, and we'd get it back and we'd lay it in. They just fought. And I'm really proud of this team because it's easy to fight when everything's smooth on offense. It's really easy to fight. But when you're struggling and you're not shooting a high percentage and it's kind of ugly, to keep fighting the way they did all season long, I was really proud of them. So that I'm never going to be content unless we win championships and we're playing the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's just how I am. I'm never going to be content. But I can say this, for this team, I can walk away from this, and these guys, they won't realize it now and say, look, for so many new guys and so many question marks, that was a great season that helped the program continue to stay the course for the inevitable years we're going to make deep runs. So good. I appreciate that. I appreciate you covering the SoCon, man. I see the Whopper. You a Whopper guy? Yeah. Yeah, good deal. I'm pulling for those guys, man. They play good basketball. So.
Thank you, Coach.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.